Is it ever appropriate to yell at somebody else? Think about that for a second. There's one of two responses that are going to come up as you think about it. The first response is those people who are saying absolutely not, it's appropriate to yell at other people. It's disrespectful, it's not kind, and it's not helpful. And then there's a whole bunch of other people that are pondering the question and trying to rationalize when it is appropriate. So I want to talk to those that are trying to rationalize it. Because when you yell at people, you've really got to ask yourself the question, what am I trying to accomplish? If you're a leader, your goal should be to intentionally influence others down a certain path in a certain direction. Influence means not dominate. Influence doesn't mean force. Influence means helping people to understand that the path you want them to go down is a good and right path that is helpful and is going to accomplish some objectives. So what does yelling do? Sure, yelling might get results in the short term. It might get an immediate result. But think about it, leaders. Your job is to intentionally influence, and your ability to influence comes down to a thing I call leadership capital. You can't take out of the bank account if you haven't deposited into the bank account. Yelling does not deposit. Being kind, respectful, courteous, caring are all things that deposit into a bank account with other people. But when you yell, sure, you might cause fear. And if that is your intent, to cause people to respond or react in fear, and all you want are short-term reactions, then I guess yelling is appropriate. But if you want people who are passionate about the things that they do, who are well suited and bring talent and skill and desire and passion to their jobs, then be aware that yelling diminishes that element. And again, you might get a short-term result with yelling, but I would suggest, and this is where bosses, let me speak to you as bosses, because I don't believe that leaders need to yell. So bosses, why do you yell? Is it because you're frustrated? Is it because you have lost the ability to do things in a way that gets accomplished without yelling? I believe that yelling is a sign of weakness. You've run out of and exhausted your other ways of doing things, or you're just so frustrated, tired, stressed, whatever it is, that you take it out on other people. So let me ask you this. Do you ever yell at your customers? Do you ever yell at your boss? If the answer is no, because you know that it's a career-limiting move when you yell at your boss, you also know that it's not a good tool for retention when you yell at customers. So why do you yell at those that are in your care, those people that report to you? Because you can? I would suggest if you're able to control your emotions with customers and with your boss, then you have the ability, and all you're doing is you are taking advantage of your position when you yell at those in your care. Rather look for ways to intentionally influence and help guide those individuals. And when you have the urge to yell, rather withdraw and really consider, am I just reacting because I'm stressed, I'm triggered, or whatever the reasons are? And then consider, how can I better appropriately respond to those individuals? And I would suggest that it's a challenge, especially of rewards-based leaders, Those people who are in positions of leadership because they enjoy the position, they enjoy the authority, they enjoy the power, and they enjoy the rewards of the position. Because one of the things that rewards-based leaders do is they avoid having difficult and uncomfortable conversations. And yelling is not a conversation. Conversations go both ways. Yelling is one way. So leaders, if you want to be an intentional influencer and you truly want to help make a difference in people's lives and create a better result, learn how to soften your temper, how to avoid being triggered, and rather find ways to embrace difficult and uncomfortable conversations courageously, and rather approach people as adults, as those who are experts in their field. That's why you put them in that position. And rather collaborate with them and ask questions. Instead of telling and yelling, ask questions. Understand the situation. Seek first to understand. And I believe that as you have those conversations, you're going to bring out the best in other people, and they are going to take greater responsibility for the things that they do. But leaders, don't allow your weakness to reduce your leadership capital and take away from the things that you really want to accomplish and from the ability of your team to come together and contribute their best to your endeavor.